today I'm going to show you how to make fluffy biscuits. You're going to be in the measuring unit when you see this movie. So the whole purpose of measuring in pastry chef is to learn how to execute and use one of these measuring scales. Because if you were to go work as a pastry chef, you're going to be measuring everything by ounces, grams, etc. or most ingredients using one of these scales or a balance scale or other scales that we'll talk about in class. So we really are going to, you need to know how to use these and maneuver these throughout most of your labs in this course. Alright, so your first ingredient for these fluffy biscuits is all-purpose flour. We are also going to be using cake flour. The difference is the texture, the granules, and whatnot like that. So this is going to just, when we combine these together, it's going to give a really nice texture to your fluffy biscuits. That's why they're called fluffy, compared to like your regular biscuits, the Bisquick, or the biscuits that are bought pre-cut and whatnot. Those are the ones that, they're not fluffy, okay? So let's get started. Alright, so for your scale, just turn it on. And I'm just going to show you how to use one, and you can practice more in class. Okay, so it's going to go on like so. Be patient. And then it's already in ounces. And I want mine in ounces, okay? So I'm going to put something on the top, and I'm actually just going to put on the top the mixing bowl I'm using. You are probably going to be pre-measuring, so you can put a baggie on the top, okay? You're going to want to see that, to zero it out, because it measured the mass of the bowl, and you want it to say nothing, so when I put my flour in, it's just measuring the flour, okay? So for this recipe, we're going to use 2.7 ounces of flour, which I have pre-measured, but hopefully it's right around there. It's just below. So I'm just going to add a little more flour to that to get us at our 2.7. Perfect, okay? So now I have that in there. Okay. Then you're going to use a half cup of flour. This recipe goes back and forth because we just want you to get familiar with the scale. So I've already measured that, and I'll put that right in the bowl. And then I have 10 grams of our leavening agent, which is baking powder. This is going to make the biscuits rise. Now, something on this scale is right now we've just measured the all-purpose flour in ounces. If you have to switch it over to grams, you're just going to go to the mode. And so my scale is acting a little funky, so let me put something on it. Okay, I'm going to zero it out. I'm going to stop for 1 sec because I'm having technical issues. And now it's good to go. Okay, so I'm going to switch to grams. And now it's in grams. And we're going to measure 5 grams of our baking powder. So I'm right at 5. Okay. Right in the bowl. And then you continue doing this. You need about 2.5 ounces of sugar. Or grams of sugar, excuse me. Make sure you're paying attention to the units. You're going to have, sugar just adds a little bit of sweetness, and it helps with the browning. And then the salt, you're going to have about 1 gram, a little over 1 gram of salt, and that's just a flavor enhancer. And then you're going to just mix this up using a wire whisk, like so. And then what you're going to do is, this is the biscuit method for biscuits. I've already cut up 4 tablespoons of butter into a cube, okay? And what you're going to do, 4 tablespoons is equal to a half stick or a 1/4 cup. Okay. I'm going to take this is a pastry blender, okay? And I'm just going to cut this in. If you don't have a pastry blender at home, or all of the ones in class are being used, you can also use a fork. It does the same thing. But this is a little bit nicer to use. Go through and get those out. And what you're doing is you are just cutting the butter in, and the flour, the dry mixture, is surrounding each of the little particles that you're making coarse. And that's just going to add layers to your biscuits. It's the same exact technique that you would use if you were making pie crust. just like so. Okay. So now we're done using this pastry blender. What happens at this point is we need to add a liquid ingredient known as buttermilk, which is what your recipe calls for. And a lot of times students will add buttermilk and then mix it using this, and it gets all the dough in here, and it's one big mess. So we're done using this, and we're going to actually switch over and mix in the buttermilk using like a rubber scraper or wooden spoon. Okay. We're going to add in our buttermilk, and you are going to be incorporating 3 ounces. Buttermilk adds very rich flavor. It's not your traditional milk that it's meant for baking. You wouldn't want to just drink that up because it's very sour and bitter. Essentially what buttermilk is regular milk and then vinegar added to it, and it coagulates and whatnot. Okay, we're just mix this up just like so. And if this is a little looking dry, that's fine. So we're going to actually knead it. Mix it together. Okay. So I'm just going to move this off to the side. I'm going to put just a little bit of flour down. And put this on here. I'm going to finish mixing it by hand. Like so. Okay. And now what you're going to do is we're going to divide this into 6 pieces because you're making 6 biscuits. So just cut like so. And then you're going to take them and you're just going to round them off because you want them to be fluffy and they will rise. Just like so. They don't have to be perfect. And then you're going to put them on your sheet pan lined with parchment paper. You're going to label it with whatever your group number is because you're going to be sharing with the other pair at your table. And you're going to put them on. And then we are just going, with a pastry brush, going to put a little bit of melted butter right on the top. Okay? I'll continue that. And then you're going to put it in your preheated oven at 450 degrees, and these will take probably about 7 to 8 minutes to cook. The recipe says 10 to 12, but our oven's quicker. Okay? I'll show you them. Okay, I've just taken the fluffy biscuits out of the oven. You'll know that they're done by their golden color that they have, and then if you just pick up underneath, be careful, they're hot. As long as it's golden brown on the bottom, you're good to go, and you may eat and enjoy. Thank you.